Alright, so for these two, they're both going to be very similar because they're both just truth tables. Alright, so we're going to do, there's 3 statements though, so for 3 statements we have to have 8 rows because there's 2 to the 3 power number of rows. So here's how you create those rows. Let me start out here and get my C, Q, and R. So the best way to start here is, and this is the way the multiple choice answers are on your homework sheet, is we do 4 truths for C and then 4 falses. Alright, and then to do Q, let's do 2 truths, 2 falses, and so on. We alternate back and forth every 2 times, and then with R we alternate every time, true, false, true, false, all the way down. What that does is that makes sure that you have all the unique possible combinations. You have 3 trues on the first row, you have the 3 F's on the bottom row, you have some 2F, all the 2F combinations, the 2 at the front, the 2 at the back, the 2 on the ends, and then the 2 trues, 2 on the back, 2 on the front, 2 on the ends, and that's really all the combinations that there can be. Alright, so now we'll go about solving this question. So the next thing we need to do is Q and R. So remember, with Q and R, both have to be true. Alright, otherwise it's false. So let's go find those first. Those are easy. 2 trues right there and 2 trues right there. The rest of this is going to be false. So that's kind of a quick way to get right to the point, is find the exception, the thing that makes it true in the one specific case, and then you know the rest of it's false, or vice versa, whatever the case may be. Now we're going to do not Q and R, so we're going to reverse everything in the column to the left. Alright, and now the last one is we're going to do C, or basically all that stuff. I'm kind of running out of space. I want to save that space for this. Alright, so in OR statement we're going to be comparing this one here and this one here, and so with OR the exception is when they're both false, it's false. Alright, so let's look for things that are false 2 times. And so I see a false there, so that's false. And that's the only place where it's false. So the rest of this is all true. Alright, so that's number 37. Now let's go set up the truth table for number 38. So we're going to do the same thing with W, S, and Q. Alright, so I've created the table there. I just paused it while I created it, but I created it the same way I did the other one. 4 trues, 4 falses. 2 trues, 2 falses, 2 trues, 2 falses, and then true, false, the whole way down. So the first thing we need to do is W and S. W and S. So remember, for a conjunction, for an AND statement, both things have to be true. So where are they both true? They're both true right there, and they're both true right there. The rest of these, there's not 2 truths. The rest of those will be false. Alright, so for the next column, we've got that thing we just created, W and S, or Q. Alright, so again, the exception with an OR statement is when are they both false. So we're going to compare these 2 columns here, Q and W and S, and try to find 2 falses, and that's where it'll be false. And so I see 2 falses there, 2 falses there, and 2 falses there. The rest of this will be true. And so the final column is going to be not all of that stuff. So I'm just going to put the not symbol. I'm kind of out of space here, but not all of that. So not's going to reverse all of these from their current truth value. Alright, so now as you check these on your homework, if you create your tables this way, I think the homework is pretty consistent about creating them this way with 4 trues and 4 falses. If you create your trues and falses in another way, you're going to have to check each line individually, right? You need to make sure that when W is true, S is true, and Q is true, that you get false. You need to check true, false leads to false, and so on and so forth, and make sure that works out. And the same goes for 37 as well. Alright, so you need to check both of them, but if you do it this way, I think you match up with the homework.